Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So you may have noticed my title for today's video. Don't miss this Bitcoin stream. I have something very urgent to share with you guys. Like all my other streams, but I made it a point for you guys to tune in because I feel like a lot of you guys are losing hope, getting the FUD in your head, and I need to stop that from happening. So let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin, why you should not fall for the FUD, why you should not give up, why you should not give up hope, and why you need to stay focused on attaining that life-changing wealth. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Let's take a look here. I'm sensing I need to put some urgency into this stream. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, I did sense. I sense a lot of people that are getting fearful, have fear and uncertainty and doubt, wondering if Bitcoin will ever come back up, wondering if 41K will hold, wondering if the infrastructure bill is going to ruin things, wondering if Plan B's stock to flow is accurate. A lot of doubts out there. So that is why I'm here to reassure you guys that hey. Stay focused, play the long game, have patience, and ignore the FUD. There's going to be volatility. There will always be volatility. But the good news is, this temporary bottom that we're seeing right now around 41,000 is holding. We just had some whalish game right here that tried to drive Bitcoin lower, but it came back up. We'll see if that holds, right? A lot of people are anticipating, a lot of TA experts are anticipating that this is like some ultimate support, and if somehow it breaks, we're just gonna drop back down to zero. I don't buy that. And you can see that this 41K has been holding for quite some time. What I do buy though is what I'm noticing, and that is that's just good stuff, good adoption, and good not only good adoption, but there's just a lot of goodness. I don't know if I explained that well. There's a lot of goodness, and I'm showing you guys that. You have a lot of adoption, I mentioned that, a lot of buying, a lot of holding, a lot of awareness, a lot of talk. There's just a lot of goodness. The only thing that's not good is the whalish games, and that's unfortunately what we're seeing, and we always see that. The whalish games continue on, and that's how the whales drive people out and accumulating more. We've seen it time and time again. We saw it over here. I mean, don't tell me that's not a whalish game. Don't tell me that's natural. I mean, if you go zoom out, you'll see there's a lot of periods where there's a lot of whalish games. I don't know what's going on with TradingView. It is not loading. It has just froze up on me. Let's see if I can refresh. Okay, here we go. A little bit better. Right? You zoom out. Yeah, there's a lot of whalish games all over the place, okay? So this is what the whales do. They want to drive you out. They want to drive retail noobs out. Most of you guys watching are not retail noobs. You may be noobs, but you've been watching me and you know that this is natural and this always happens. But panic selling never leads to good things, right? That's the number one thing. If you don't panic sell, you're good. And that's what the whales want. They want you to panic sell. They want you to sell to them, okay? And that's because they want to attain your wealth, transfer your wealth to them, and they want to attain that life-changing wealth from you, and it goes straight to them. That's what happens when you panic sell, and that's what they're trying to do with FUD, with the manipulation, with volatility. That's what happens. It's what they do. They've been around for quite some time, and they have the leverage and the power to do so. But here's the thing. the holders are getting stronger. Holders are realizing that there's going to be whalish games. And that is why the number of holders, the number of addresses, the number of illiquid supply, the number of reserves is dropping. Any meaningful metric that measures Bitcoin's health, it's all fantastic and it's good and it's going up. That's what I'm paying attention to, okay? Not what's going on right now. There's a lot of people I'm hearing that's turned bearish and this and that. They flip-flop all the time, okay? They flip all the time. Let's not forget when Bitcoin was back down below 30,000, 30, 29, 28, saw and heard a lot of that. Guess what? Bitcoin continue on, right? So now I'm sensing the same thing, like, oh, somehow this is as bad as it was in 28,000. That doesn't even make sense. Bitcoin was at 28,000. It's at 41,000. It doesn't make sense. The fear level can't be the same. If it is the same, then they're really noobs, right? So it doesn't even make a whole lot of sense if you look at it that way. And it certainly shouldn't be the same. It certainly shouldn't be the same fear level as when Bitcoin was below 20,000 or when I was at 10,000 or when I was at 3,000. It just doesn't make any sense, right? So what I'm focused on is this, and that's in the thumbnail, okay? This is what I'm focused on. Stock to flow model and plan B and projected floor price for October, November, December. And man, if the floor prices are true and we actually do hit these targets, which is not unreasonable. It seems like this is unreasonable, but it really isn't. But if true, we're going to see a 20K jump from here into October, which will bring us to our previous high. Then we're going to see a 30K jump, actually more than now, almost 40K jump to November. And then we're going to see another 40K jump into December. And who knows what happens after that. Remember, this is the floor price. Doesn't mean that it has to stay at the floor. It could go a lot higher. This one is what I'm looking forward to. And this is what I call life-changing wealth. Some of you guys may refer to it as wife-changing wealth. Or if you are a woman, maybe husband-changing wealth. But most of you guys are men that's watching me. This is what I'm waiting for. And this is that wealth that you don't want to transfer. This is what you don't want to transfer. Like, why would you sell Bitcoin at 41,000 or 42,000 when it could be at 135,000 in just 3 months? Then that $90,000, the difference there, you just transferred to the whale that scared it off of you, and now you transfer that to them. Now they are $90,000 richer. Why would you do that? You would not want to do that. This is what I'm talking about. When the whales want your wealth, they want your life-changing wealth, this is how they attain it. They make you sell to them. Remember, when you're selling, when you're panic selling, there's always a buyer on the other side, right? And the buyer's probably a whale that's just laughing, right? So this is what I'm waiting for. And why do I think this is going to happen? Well, I've already explained it. All the goodness that's out there, right? Not only is Plan B stock to flow very, very darn accurate, but every other measurement, every other metric, everything that's out there is saying that this is going to come true. There is actually literally nothing, no meaningful metric that shows that there is a decline right now. And I've already shown you guys, I've created so many videos about them, right? You look at the reserves of Bitcoin just dropping like a rock, like dropping in the ocean. You look at liquid supply, the number of Bitcoins that's just not floating around, that's being held by long-term holders. It keeps increasing. The number of Bitcoins being held in wallets, anywhere from 0.1 all the way to 100, it's all increasing, right? Every single one. Hash rate is coming up. Number of addresses is going up. Everything is just showing that, yes, this is coming, and that's what I believe in. That's what I believe in. And I've sat through too many of these cycles where the bears and the whales, they drive FUD and they cause you to sell. I made those same mistakes. And the ones that held The ones that held the longest are the richest in the game right now, okay? It's that simple. You buy and you hold, and the longer you hold, the more wealth you attain. And you know what's funny is this looks very, very, very similar to what TechDev tweeted out about a week ago, showing how 2021, where we are now, is very, very similar to 2017 and 2013. And if you look at the two, too bad I can't put this side by side, but if you look at the two, it's very, very similar between all these years and this projection. So you could see we had this local top, and then Bitcoin came down, and we're having like another local top here, and then it's getting ready to go up, right? So if you look at this, it's exactly what happened before. Both 2013, 2017, you have a local top, it falls down a little bit. You have another local top, like in 2013, 2017. It comes down a little bit, and then boom, it goes up because that's the last 3 months of the 4-year cycle, which is what we're go through in a couple of weeks, right? Or actually, say 1 week, or I should say a few days. We'll be in October, right? So this actually looks really, 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 really similar to what we've seen before. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that. Before I keep going, there's a lot of super chats. I appreciate all the super chats. I always do. Appreciate all the new members of the channel. But sometimes I get, I'm in a groove and I don't want to stop. So I miss some of these questions. Mike says, I'm staying in the game until a few big ETFs launch. If that doesn't happen, I may reassess my retirement plans. Hey, you got plenty of time, okay? And I plan on talking about ETFs right now. So it's looking very similar. This is what I'm looking towards, and why I'm not going to transfer my wealth to no whale. I'm going to keep it for myself. And this is why I advise you guys to stay in the game and hodl and ignore the FUD. Now, not every retail investor. Now, a lot of newbie retail investors have panic sold, but a lot of retail investors did not. Mostly probably you guys that's watching me right now and have been watching me. But take a look at this headline. Investor used a crypto crash after China's ban to buy the most Bitcoin in 4 months last week. So, according to CoinShares, a lot of you guys took advantage and bought the dip, and that's the right thing to do. I did. You guys know I create videos talking about it. I know a lot of you guys did. So this is what I'm saying. Even retail investors are getting smarter. You look at the wallets. I've shown metrics. Wallets between 0.01 to 1 to 10 to 100, right? They're all going up. The number of Bitcoins in them is going up because, you know what? Retail investors are no longer that stupid. After sitting around for many years and paying attention and mostly listening to me, they have come to realize that Bitcoin is the future, and I'm not gonna give up, right? So this headline kind of tells it all. Now, what else is there? Well, I saw this. A lot of people was very, very excited about this, thinking that Coinbase leaked out that Bitcoin ETF was going to get approved very, very soon. Then they then did delete this. But, I don't think it's a secret because this is what it was pointing to. The institutional investor, so this is like a report sponsored by Coinbase. So this is obviously out of Coinbase. But they do anticipate that the SEC will approve a Bitcoin ETF soon. When they say soon, they mean within the next year, okay? So when they mean soon, it doesn't mean that it has to be next month. But they did say that it could be 2021 or 2022. And what Coinbase is banking on is continued money flowing in from institutional investors as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies mature and consistently deliver steady performance. The other will be introduction of ETFs into the U.S. crypto fund. Okay, so 2 things that Coinbase sees in the future. One is continued money flowing in, and the second is the introduction of Bitcoin ETF, which according to them, they think will come within the next year, sometime in 2021 or 2022. And I can't say I disagree, right? There is going to be more money coming in, continued money to come in from the institutional investors. Inflation is still a real thing. They're not ignoring that. So what are you going to do? Buy gold? No one wants to buy gold these days. Gold, in fact, dropped too. Gold has been a horrible hedge against inflation. So what else is there? Bitcoin and Ethereum and others, right? But Bitcoin ETFs will probably cause an avalanche of money to come in too. So these two things are around the corner. So Coinbase, obviously they're a little biased because they are exchange, but they're very, very bullish. They're very, very bullish. Verifone enables retailers to accept cryptocurrencies. Okay, why? Because the appetite for crypto has exploded. Okay, they're not just doing it for fun. You guys have seen these terminals before. These POS devices that's in all the stores, right? 35 million devices, 150 countries. Well, they're going to allow crypto payments. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. StormX, not StormX, Square, I should say, is going to allow this too. Jordan, haven't seen this chat this bearish in a long time. Fear and greed at 25, and everyone, including me, calling for 38K makes me bullish. Well, I'm glad you're here, Jordan. I'm glad that you're George, and I'm glad that I'm making you bullish. Hopefully I am. Steve asks, which one do you think will perform the best in this bull run? Polkadot, Algo, or Uniswap? This is hard, man. That's hard. I'll say Uniswap. I'll say Uniswap because there's a mass exodus of money out of China and they're all going to DEXs right now. So I'll just say Uniswap for now. All right. Gmain, thank you for that. Continue on. Well, what about this infrastructure bill, right? So we know the infrastructure bill that was passed by the senators, you know, it's supposed to be voted on tomorrow, but it seems like the Democrats do not want to agree upon it. So it's probably not going to be approved. And there's going to be more changes. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, it just seems like there is no unity, which I guess is good for crypto because they slid that thing in there for tax requirements for KYC and reporting of any transactions over $10,000. I haven't heard anything about modifying that, but it seems like this infrastructure bill is not going to get passed tomorrow, and I don't know how long it's going to be debated, but I'll let you guys know when there's more things to talk about it. Personal feelings about each project. Are you bullish on ADA or XRP short term? ADA. Only ADA out of those two. Not bullish on XRP. Unless they win the SEC lawsuit. So President Nayib of El Salvador, remember, he talked about using volcanic energy, geothermic energy to mine Bitcoin. Well, he just tweeted this out, so it could be right around the corner. I know President Bukele has been buying Bitcoin for his citizens. More than 2.1 million people has the Shivo app and has access to Bitcoin and own Bitcoin. That's more than people that have bank accounts within El Salvador. So this experiment so far is working. So that's also very bullish. Okay. What else? Ethereum 2.0 moves closer as there's a big upgrade in October for named Altair for their beacon chain. So for most of you guys, you're not going to see any difference. But there's two sets of chains running right now. The beacon chain for 2.0 and the regular chain. And eventually the two will combine, right? But Ethereum 2 is the big thing that a lot of people's waiting for. So that is coming. And then lastly, the NFL, hot breaking news on CryptosRUs.com. Not right now, but before. But NFL is finalizing a deal with Dapper Labs. So they're probably going to come out with NFL Top Shot or something like that, something equivalent. So you know the NFL, they want to get into the NFT game, right? So that's pretty big for the NFL, for Dapper Labs, and for Flow, which is the blockchain that powers Dapper Labs. I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Bitcoin's at 41.7, right? It is not the same as 28,000. It's not the same as 20,000. Not the same as 10,000. So stay focused, guys. Stay strong. And stay with George. And stay with CryptosRUs. All right, let's do some Q&A. G-Bay says, what's your price prediction for Harmony? Higher, let's put it that way. Do you think the crackdown in China will affect VeChain in a bad way? Maybe right now it is, making it more stagnant, but long term, I think it's beneficial. All right, let me see. Let me make sure I have Jordan. Welcome. Do you have any thoughts on Proton? Looks like you could wrap any coin and send it for 0 fees. I have seen that before. You could not only wrap tokens, you could wrap NFTs, you could wrap a bunch of tokens. I've seen that before, but it's just not really used. It's not really used. That's the thing. It's useful, but it's not really used by anyone right now. So I don't know. Chris, I don't think he actually said that because that makes no sense. DCA is the way to go, man. DCA is the way to go. You know, people that discount DCA just don't know what they're doing. DCA is proven to work. I'll prove it to you guys. I'll prove it to you guys right now. All right. So this nifty website only has 4 crypto: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Monero. But you know, let's just stick with Bitcoin, right? Let's do a weekly buy of, you know, some people told me $100 too much, but let's just do a weekly buy of 50, okay? Let's just go back. Let's go back in time. Let's go back in time to the beginning of 2017, right? When it was $1,000. Had you put $50 in every week until now, despite the up and downs and everything else, right? You would have put in $12,000, $12,400 to be exact. So a little bit less than $13,000. And today, the value of your Bitcoin is at $101,000. So tell me how DCA failed. You almost 10x'd your money. You went up 715% simply by putting $50 a week, every week, regardless of the price, regardless if it was at $20,000 or $3,000 or $10,000, at $60,000, at $50,000, you put in $50 every week, right? And that's only 4 years, 4.5 years, right? You would have made 715% in return. Now, let's make it more challenging. Let's say, okay, what about if you bought at $20,000 instead? Not like, not at $1,000. Well, what if you bought it at $20,000? I remember it was like December 15th till now. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit less, but it's still not bad. You put in $9,900, okay? And it is now worth $46,000, and your return is 367%. Again, that is a strategy that you don't have to put any brain power into. All you do is set $50 every week, let's say every Friday or whatever, and then you just forget it, right? Who can complain about 400% gain with Bitcoin, right? So DCA works. DCA works. You don't always have to follow it, but if you do, it works. You could also buy the tips too. TT says, what do you think will happen to BC when governments defaults on securities October 15th? I don't know. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Could it be good for Bitcoin? Sure. I don't know. Or it's a non-event. Hellcat says, I thought Ecomi had NFL. I think they do, but I think it's different kind. I think these licensing may be like different versions. So I don't know. Because Ecomi, as you notice, everything is more like, 3D models, cartoonish kind of things. So I don't know if there's like some kind of limitation to their licensing, and the same with NBA or this new Top Shots. I don't know what's going on. I don't know too much. Caleb, what do you think about Matic and H-Bar? I like both. I'll just say I like both. I'll take that back. I like Matic, but I'm neutral on Hedera. These countries can't get Starlink fast enough to truly give everyone access to BTC payment options in the whole world, basically. I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that, Ming. Let's see, what else is there? People still haven't figured out end of the month bargain dip yet. Well, apparently not. Apparently not. Gomez trades, I appreciate it. Bastian, thank you. What do you know? Ergo, hybrid blockchain backed by Samsung Foundation. Ergo, not to be confused with Ergo. This is an old project. This is a very old project. Yeah, they have not really come back up. Blockchain for business. I don't know if they're really backed by Samsung or they have a loose partnership. Because Samsung is partnered with several projects. But I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot. There's just a lot of blockchain protocols out there very similar to it. And who knows if they can really, get that momentum. Whether or not they have the tenacity or the marketing to do so. Jesus, appreciate that. Jordan says, I currently hold 1.5 BTC, 12 ETH, 250 in Solana. Should I move most of my holdings into BTC? No, I actually don't think so. I think you have a good breakup. Ethereum has been holding better than Bitcoin. And Solana has been holding or doing better than Bitcoin. So I don't think so. I don't think so. It's good to be diversified, right? But but whatever you have, like the altcoins, have to be the good projects. You can't just be diversifying anything. DCA works with everything except gold. that's true. That's very true. All right. Bullish crypto, welcome. Veracity, I think they're okay. They're really into esports, getting themselves involved with esports and tournaments. I think they'll be carried by that. Do I own any crypto.com? No, I do not. I think they're just like middle ground of everything. In terms of prepaid cards, they're okay. BlockFi's credit card is much better, in my opinion. Bitcoin's rewards blockchain, Bitcoin's rewards credit card. And their exchange is okay. Their NFT marketplace is okay. They're just kind of like okay. Do me a favor, look up real quick about what happens if government defaults. It's huge for BTC, so expect to moon. All right, I will, but I'm not going to look at it right now. And which governments are going to default? It's not going to be the U.S. Do you think we will have another dip as hard as before in the next bear market? No, I don't think so. I think we'll have a correction, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as severe as the one before. So it could be 50%, it could be 60%, right? But I don't think we're going to see 85%. I like Engine. I'm actually quite surprised Engine has not run up more. They're kind of one of the major NFT players. Diesel says, I'm getting blocked by YouTube. If you were, I would not be able to read your comments. For an altcoin, Solana or Luna? That's tough. I like both. I would split them between the two. I really like both. Mina is promising. It has done really well. Very, very fast chain that's based on snapshots, but as far as I know, they still struggle with speed and archiving. So, yes. David said, I used to see red days and be depressed and panic. Now I see red days and get excited for discounts. Thanks for turning my attitude around. That's the best way to think about it. It's really hard. It's really hard to turn your thinking around. But as a true investor, what you want is volatility so that you can buy the dips. If things are going sky high, you never have a real opportunity to buy in unless you're just DCAing. But even then, you still want those dips because that's how you get the bargains. That's how you buy cheap and then you could sell high later, right? But the only way to do that, this is what I stress, and people are like, George, you know, what's your plan for a profit taking, or what's your plan if we have a more downwards movement? The plan is the same. Make sure you have cash on the side. That's really, I think the one thing that I really missed out on before. I was too impatient, always went in, all in, and all this stuff. But now I realize having cash on the side is what fixes everything. So if there is a correction, a dip or dump or whatever, you could get excited about it because you could buy in. Because if you can't buy in, then you kind of feel miserable that you can't do anything about it, right? And you definitely don't want to panic sell. So you got to make sure you have cash on the side to buy in. And then on the other side, when things are going up, right, you want to be able to take profits out so that you have the cash on the side so that you can buy in if there is a correction later, right? So I think that's the big thing. That's the big thing. You got to have enough cash on the side, and it protects you from pretty much everything. Me too, Logan. Me too. I'm going to see how it is. I'm going to be at Yahoo Finance this Friday. It's going to be somewhere between 10 and 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. If volatility continues, I'm going to get asked some hard questions this Friday. Why is Bitcoin going down? Why is it going to do this? Why is all this stuff? I'm hoping by Friday things turn back up, so I don't have to answer those hard questions. But we'll see. Economy they're finally making their move to Immutable X. I told you guys once they move to Immutable X, move to Ethereum, it's gonna be good for them. They need to get off this Go chain ASAP. Crab King, I didn't say they were going to default. Someone else said it. So I didn't say that. But based on what you said, literally printing money and unlimited amount of money, well, even though they could do that, it leads to bad things like hyperinflation, right? We have seen it already, and it's going to get worse. So, yeah, that's no good. That's no good. All right, guys. That is it. You know what? Hopefully, I calmed some of you guys down, right? Made you have cooler heads, because this is not time to be panicking, okay? There's too much panic going on, mostly from retail noobs, because they're getting feared out by the whales. Don't fall for it. I know most of you guys are not falling for it. You don't want to transfer your wealth to them. You want to keep that for yourself. You're in crypto because you want to make life-changing wealth. So do so. Continue to have patience. Continue to hodl. And if you have the opportunity, buy the dips. It's really that simple. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash a like. Subscribe to the channel. What is the best buy? MicroStrategy or BTC? Of course, BTC. Matt, there's a lot. I mean, take your pick right now. A lot of things came down. So, Jordan sent you. Welcome, Andrew. And Brian, big super chat. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Bye-bye.